She slammed the door so hard the family portrait cracked, her father's voice echoing like thunder. "You're a disgrace, Brielle. Get out and never come back." At 16, with nothing but a backpack and tears streaming down her face, Brielle stumbled into the rainy Chicago night, the word lesbian branded on her soul like a scarlet letter. Little did she know that rejection would forge her into a woman of steel, only for her blood kin to return like vultures, pecking at her hard-earned success. Brielle Thompson had always known she was different, but it wasn't until that fateful summer evening in 2008 that her world shattered. The humid Chicago air clung to her skin as she sat on her bed, heart pounding, staring at the text message from her secret girlfriend, Emily. "Can't wait to see you tonight," it read, with a heart emoji that made Brielle's stomach flutter. But before she could reply, her bedroom door burst open. Her mother, Linda, stood there, phone in hand, Brielle's phone snatched from the kitchen counter. "What is this filth?" Linda spat, her face twisted in disgust. Brielle froze, the room spinning as her father, Robert, stormed in behind her, his belt already unbuckled as if ready for punishment. "You're disgusting," Robert growled, his voice booming through the modest suburban home in Oak Park. "We raised you better than this. Lesbian. In my house." Brielle tried to explain, her voice trembling. "Dad, it's not a choice, it's who I am. I love her." But words were futile. Her younger brother, Tommy, peeked from the hallway, eyes wide with confusion, while her sister, Sarah, sneered from the stairs. That night they packed her things, clothes, books, a few CDs, and shoved her out the door. "Don't come back until you've fixed yourself," Linda said coldly, slamming the lock behind her. Brielle wandered the streets, rain mixing with her sobs, until she collapsed on a park bench, wondering if she'd ever feel whole again. The next few weeks were a blur of survival. Brielle crashed on friends' couches, avoiding Emily out of shame and fear. Emily, sweet and understanding, tried to help, but their young love couldn't withstand the storm. They parted ways tearfully in a coffee shop, Emily whispering, "Find yourself first, Brie." Alone, Brielle dropped out of high school and took a job at a diner, flipping burgers for minimum wage. Chicago's gritty streets taught her resilience, the windy city's unyielding wind mirroring her determination. She enrolled in GED classes at night, dreaming of escape. By 18, she'd saved enough for a bus ticket to New York City, the land of dreams and reinvention. "This is where I start over," she told herself, watching the skyline emerge from the Greyhound window. In the Big Apple, Brielle hustled harder than ever. She waited tables in Greenwich Village, surrounded by the vibrant LGBTQ+ scene that made her feel seen for the first time. Stonewallin' became her sanctuary, where stories of pride and protest fueled her fire. She pursued community college, majoring in business, her sharp mind turning hardships into fuel. That's where she met Camila Rivera, a fiery Puerto Rican artist with curly hair and eyes like molten chocolate. Camila was sketching in the campus quad when Brielle accidentally spilled coffee on her notebook. "Watch it, chica." Camila laughed, her accent warm like sunshine. Apologies turned to conversation, then to late-night walks along the Hudson River. Camila shared her own story, coming out to her supportive family in Brooklyn, painting murals that celebrated queer love. For Brielle, it was electric. Camila's confidence was the balm to her wounds. Their first kiss happened under the Brooklyn Bridge, fireworks from a distant festival lighting the sky. "You're not broken, Brielle," Camila whispered, her lips brushing Brielle's. "You're beautiful." As months turned to years, their relationship deepened. Brielle graduated with honors, landing a job at a startup in tech sales. Her charisma and grit propelled her up the ladder. By 25, she was managing teams, her salary climbing into six figures. Camila's art flourished too, her pieces selling in Soho galleries. They moved into a cozy apartment in Williamsburg, filled with laughter, shared dreams, and the kind of love that healed old scars. But Brielle never forgot her family's rejection. Late at night, she'd stare at the ceiling, wondering if they'd ever regret it. Little did she know, fate had a cruel twist in store. Back in Chicago, the Thompsons were unraveling. Robert's construction business tanked in the 2008 recession, leaving them drowning in debt. Linda's health declined, diabetes from years of stress. Tommy, now in his 20s, struggled with addiction, racking up rehab bills. Sarah married young, but her husband's gambling habit left them bankrupt. Whispers of Brielle's success reached them through distant relatives. LinkedIn profiles, Facebook glimpses. "She's made it big in New York," Sarah said one evening over a tense dinner. Robert grunted. "After what she put us through?" But desperation breeds hypocrisy. In 2015, 7 years after disowning her, Robert dialed Brielle's number, his voice cracking. "Honey, it's Dad. We need to talk." Brielle's heart stopped when she saw the Chicago area code. Camila held her hand as she answered, the conversation a minefield of forced pleasantries. "We're proud of you," Robert lied before dropping the bomb. "Medical bills, foreclosure threats. Just a loan to get us back on our feet." Brielle hesitated, memories flooding back, the door slamming the rain-soaked night. But blood ties tugged at her. "Okay, Dad. For old time's sake." She wired $5,000, telling herself it was closure. Camila worried. "They don't deserve you, Amor." But Brielle shrugged it off, hoping it was a one-time thing. It wasn't. The requests escalated. Tommy's rehab, $10,000. Sarah's divorce lawyer, $7,000. Linda's surgery, $15,000. Each time they called with sob stories, never apologizing for the past. Brielle became their ATM, withdrawing from her savings her peace. Camila watched helplessly as Brielle's stress mounted. Sleepless nights, arguments about boundaries. "They're using you," Camila urged. "Set limits." But Brielle, ever the fixer, couldn't say no. Deep down she craved their acceptance, even if it cost her soul. By 2018, Brielle was promoted to VP, her income soaring. She and Camila bought a brownstone in Brooklyn, talking marriage and kids. Life felt full, except for the shadow of Chicago. Then came the ultimate betrayal. Robert called, voice urgent. "Bri, we need $50,000. The house is going under." Brielle wired it, but curiosity gnawed. She hired a private investigator, old habits from her sales days. The report shattered her. The money wasn't for debts. Robert had invested in a shady scheme. Tommy blew it on drugs, Sarah on luxury trips. They'd lied, exploited her success without remorse. Rage boiled in Brielle's veins. She confronted them over a video call, Camila by her side. "You called me a disgrace for loving who I love. Then treat me like your bank?" Tears streamed as years of pain poured out. Robert stammered excuses. Linda wept crocodile tears. "We're family," Sarah pleaded. But Brielle saw the truth, they'd never changed. "Family doesn't betray like this," she said, hanging up. That night she blocked their numbers, the weight lifting like chains breaking. In the aftermath, Brielle spiraled. The betrayal reopened old wounds, making her question everything. "Why wasn't I enough?" She sobbed into Camila's arms, the Brooklyn brownstone feeling like a cage. Camila, ever patient, brewed chamomile tea and listened. "Because they were broken, not you," she said, stroking Brielle's hair. Their love became the anchor, weekend getaways to the Hamptons, where they'd walk hand in hand on beaches, waves washing away doubts. Camila's art reflected their journey. A series called Reclaimed Hearts featured bold abstracts of shattered glass reforming into vibrant mosaics. Galleries raved, and Brielle beamed with pride at openings, introducing Camila as my wife-to-be. Professionally, Brielle channeled her anger into ambition. She left the startup for a Fortune 500 company, heading diversity initiatives. Her story inspired panels at Pride events. From rejection to resilience, she'd title her talks, sharing how family exile fueled her fire. Audiences applauded, but inside the scars lingered. Therapy helped. A kind counselor in Manhattan unpacked the trauma, teaching Brielle forgiveness wasn't for them, but for her. "You've built a life they could never touch," the therapist said. Slowly, Brielle believed it. Meanwhile, whispers from Chicago trickled in via mutual friends. The Thompsons were sinking deeper. Robert's business folded. Linda hospitalized again. Tommy overdosed but survived, entering state-funded rehab. Sarah's marriage imploded, leaving her with 2 kids and no support. Part of Brielle ached. They were her blood after all. But Camila reminded her. "Compassion from afar, mi vida. Don't let them drag you down." They volunteered at LGBTQ+ youth shelters, mentoring teens like young Brielle. Lost, scared but full of potential. It healed her, turning pain into purpose. In 2020, the pandemic hit, testing their bond. Lockdown in Brooklyn, work blurred into home life. Brielle's company thrived remotely, but isolation amplified old anxieties. One night, over homemade paella, Camila's family recipe, they argued fiercely. "You're still giving them power," Camila accused, frustrated by Brielle's distant stares. "I know," Brielle admitted, tears falling. "But with you, I feel unbreakable." They made up under starry skies on their rooftop, vowing to marry once the world reopened. "Forever, you and me," Camila promised. As vaccines rolled out, life buzzed again. Brielle proposed on a crisp autumn day in Central Park, kneeling with a sapphire ring, Camila's birthstone. "You've been my light in the darkness," she said. Camila said yes, tears of joy streaming. Wedding planning became their joy. A small ceremony in Prospect Park, with Camila's boisterous family contrasting Brielle's empty side. "They're my family now," Brielle told Camila's mom, who hugged her tight. But fate intervened. A letter arrived from Chicago. "Tommy, clean for 6 months," wrote apologizing. "I was wrong, sis. We all were. I miss you." Brielle stared at it, heart conflicted. She showed Camila, who nodded thoughtfully. "Your call, Amor. But remember who you are." After days of soul-searching, Brielle replied, "Not with money but words. I'm glad you're better, Tommy. But healing takes time. Let's start slow." They exchanged emails, tentative bridges forming. Tommy shared his recovery journey, admitting the family's toxicity. "Dad's stubborn, but Mom asks about you." It wasn't reconciliation, but a crack in the wall. Highs and lows intertwined. Brielle's career peaked. She launched a nonprofit for queer youth, funded by her savings. Camila's art went viral, a mural in Times Square celebrating love in all forms. But drama struck when Sarah showed up unannounced at their door. Disheveled, kids in tow, she begged. "Please, Brie. We're homeless." Brielle's resolve wavered. The children tugged at her heart. Camila stepped in. "We'll help the kids, but not like before." They arranged temporary housing through Brielle's nonprofit, setting boundaries. Sarah lashed out. "You're heartless, just like always." But Brielle stood firm. "No, I'm protecting my heart now." The confrontation escalated. Robert called, furious. "You're turning your back on us again?" Brielle exploded. "You turned first. Called me a disgrace for being me." The line went silent, then Robert's voice softened. "We were wrong, Brielle. Fear made us cruel." It was the apology she'd waited for, but tainted by need. She hung up, shaking. Camila held her. "Proud of you." That night, they danced in their living room to old jazz records, reaffirming their love. As 2022 dawned, Brielle and Camila tied the knot. Vows exchanged under blooming cherry trees, friends cheering. Tommy attended virtually, a small step. The reception buzzed with joy, Puerto Rican rhythms mixing with American classics. Brielle felt complete, her past a distant echo. But life, ever dramatic, had more in store. Linda's health worsened. A stroke left her bedridden. Tommy pleaded for Brielle to visit. "She wants to see you." After much debate, Brielle flew to Chicago, Camila by her side. The hospital room reeked of antiseptic and regret. Linda, frail and gray, reached for Brielle's hand. "I'm sorry, baby girl. We failed you." Tears flowed as Brielle forgave. Not fully, but enough for peace. Robert stood awkwardly, mumbling apologies. Sarah hovered, resentful yet relieved. Brielle set terms. "No more money, but support through actions. Therapy for all," she insisted. They agreed, a fragile pact. Returning to New York, Brielle reflected on the journey. From disgrace to dignity. Her family's betrayal had forged her strength, but love, Camila's unwavering love, had redeemed her. "We're building something real," she told Camila on the flight home. Their life flourished. Adopting a rescue dog, planning a family. Brielle's nonprofit expanded, helping countless youth. In quiet moments, she'd whisper to Camila, "You saved me." And Camila would reply, "We saved each other." Yet shadows lingered. Tommy relapsed briefly, testing boundaries. Brielle helped from afar, sending resources, not cash. It taught her balance, compassion without sacrifice. By 2024, relations thawed. Holiday cards exchanged, cautious visits. Not perfect, but human. The turning point came in late 2024, when Brielle received news that shattered the fragile peace. Robert had been scamming investors, using Brielle's name to lure them. "My daughter's a big shot in New York," he'd boast, pocketing funds for a non-existent venture. The FBI called. Tips from victims led to an investigation. Brielle's world tilted, her reputation on the line. "How could he?" she raged to Camila, pacing their brownstone. Camila, calm amid the storm, hired a lawyer. "We'll fight this together." The scandal exploded in Chicago headlines. Local man accused of fraud, daughter's success exploited. Reporters hounded Brielle's office, her nonprofit under scrutiny. Donors pulled back, fearing association. "This could ruin everything," Brielle confided in therapy, voice breaking. But adversity revealed her core. She issued a statement. "I stand for integrity. My family's actions aren't mine." Public support surged. Queer communities rallied, sharing her story as a testament to resilience. Camila's art became therapy. She painted a series called Fractured Ties, raw canvases of tangled roots blooming anew. Galleries sold out, proceeds donated to Brielle's cause. Their love deepened in crisis, nights of strategy sessions turning to tender embraces. "You're my rock," Brielle murmured. Camila smiled. "And you're my fire." Confronting Robert in court was cathartic. He pleaded guilty, facing prison. In the hallway he approached. "Brielle, she cut him off. "Save it. You used me again." But seeing him broken stirred pity. Linda, wheelchair-bound, whispered, "He loves you in his twisted way." Brielle nodded but walked away. Tommy, sober and working, pulled her aside. "I'm breaking the cycle, sis. For my future kids." His honesty sparked hope. Post-trial, Brielle rebuilt. Her company promoted her to executive, valuing her transparency. The nonprofit rebounded, stronger with safeguards. She and Camila traveled to Puerto Rico, Camila's homeland, for a second honeymoon. Beach sunsets healed wounds. They discussed adoption. "A little girl, maybe," Brielle dreamed. Camila grinned. "With your spirit and my flair." Drama resurfaced when Sarah sued for emotional distress, claiming Brielle's abandonment caused her woes. Ridiculous but draining. The case dragged, media circus ensuing. "Lesbian power couple fights family feud," tabloids screamed. Brielle testified. "They disowned me first for being gay." The judge dismissed it, but the toll was high. Exhaustion hit. Brielle collapsed at work, hospitalized for stress. Camila never left her side. "We're in this forever," she vowed. Recovery brought clarity. Brielle cut all ties with Sarah and Robert, focusing on Tommy and Linda's care via professionals. "Boundaries are love too," her therapist affirmed. By 2025, life stabilized. Brielle authored a memoir, Disgrace No More, a bestseller chronicling her journey. Book tours connected her with readers, teens sharing similar stories. "You gave me hope," one said. Camila illustrated the cover, a symbol of their unity. Their family grew. They adopted Sophia, a spirited 5-year-old from foster care. "Mama Brie, Mama Cam," she'd squeal, filling their home with joy. Parenting tested them, sleepless nights, tantrums, but strengthened their bond. "This is what family means," Brielle said, watching Sophia play. Yet the past whispered. Linda passed peacefully, her last words to Brielle. "Proud of you." The funeral was tense. Robert, out on parole, attended humbly. No demands, just quiet grief. Tommy spoke. She regretted everything. Brielle nodded, placing flowers. "Rest easy, Mom." Healing rippled. Robert entered therapy, writing letters of amends. Brielle read them warily, responding sparingly. "Time will tell," she told Camila. In quiet evenings, Brielle and Camila reflected on the drama. The highs of love, lows of betrayal. "It made us who we are," Camila said. Brielle agreed. Stronger together. As 2026 approached, Brielle's nonprofit hosted a gala in Manhattan. Celebrities attended, funds raised for queer youth homes. In her speech, "Family isn't always blood. It's the love that chooses you." Applause thundered, Camila beaming from the front row. Later, dancing under chandeliers, Brielle whispered, "Thank you for never letting go." Camila kissed her. "Always, mi amor." The story wasn't over, life's twists continued, but their foundation was solid. From a disgraced teen to a beacon of hope, Brielle's path embodied America's promise. Reinvention through grit and love. With Sophia in their lives, Brielle and Camila navigated the beautiful chaos of parenthood. Mornings buzzed with cartoons and sticky fingers, evenings with bedtime stories of brave princesses loving other princesses. Like you and Mama Cam? Sophia asked innocently. Brielle laughed. Exactly, Peanut. The adoption process had been grueling: background checks, home visits, but worth every hurdle. Sophia's laughter erased lingering shadows, a reminder that family could be chosen, nurtured. Professionally, Brielle's memoir sparked a TED Talk invitation. On stage in Vancouver, she shared, "Betrayal by blood taught me self-worth. Love rebuilt me." Views skyrocketed, inspiring a podcast series. Camila juggled art commissions with mom duties, her studio a colorful haven where Sophia finger-painted masterpieces. But old wounds festered subtly. Tommy visited New York, bonding with Sophia over ice cream in Central Park. "You're an amazing aunt," he told Brielle. Yet, he confided, "Dad's struggling, parole's tough." Brielle listened, offering advice but no funds. "He needs to earn trust," she said. Tommy nodded, their sibling bond mending thread by thread. Drama peaked when a documentary crew approached. "Your story's epic: rejection, success, betrayal." Brielle hesitated. Exposure risked reopening scars. Camila supported. "If it helps others, do it." Filming unearthed raw emotions, interviews with friends, even cautious ones with Tommy. Robert declined, but Sarah ambushed the set, demanding airtime. "She's painting us as villains." Security escorted her out, but the incident went viral. "Family feud reignites," headlines blared. Brielle's anxiety spiked. Nightmares of that rainy Chicago night returned. Camila arranged a getaway to the Catskills, cabin retreats, hikes through autumn leaves. "Breathe a more," she'd say, holding Brielle close. Intimacy reaffirmed their core. Whispered affirmations, shared dreams. "We're unbreakable," Brielle declared. The documentary aired to acclaim. Hearts of Steel. Critics praised its humanity, showing not just pain but growth. Messages flooded in. "Your story saved my life." One from a teen. "My parents kicked me out too. Now I know I can thrive." Brielle wept, purpose renewed. Robert's letter arrived post-premiere. "Saw the film. I'm ashamed. Can we talk?" After deliberation, Brielle agreed to a Zoom call. His face, lined with regret, filled the screen. "I was wrong about everything. Fear blinded me." Brielle listened, then spoke. "It hurt, Dad. But I'm open to change if you are." They set ground rules: therapy, respect for her life. Camila watched proudly. "That's my warrior." Reconciliation was slow, messy. Robert visited, meeting Sophia awkwardly. "Grandpa?" she asked. He teared up. "If you'll have me." No demands, just stories of Brielle's childhood, the good parts. Sarah remained distant, her resentment a barrier. Brielle accepted it. Not everyone heals. In 2026, as the new year dawned, Brielle reflected on the decade's turmoil. From disgrace to dignity, her path wove through betrayal's thorns to love's bloom. Camila's unwavering support was the thread holding it together. They celebrated their anniversary with a vow renewal in Puerto Rico, Sophia tossing petals. "To more adventures," Camila toasted. Back home, Brielle expanded her nonprofit nationwide, opening shelters in Chicago, a poetic full circle. Mentoring youth, she shared. "Your worth isn't defined by others." Tommy joined as a counselor, his recovery inspiring many. Life's drama softened into rhythm: school plays, art shows, quiet dinners. Yet, when challenges arose, like Sophia's bullying at school for having two moms, Brielle faced them head-on, advocating fiercely. "Love wins," she'd tell her daughter. In moments of doubt, Camila's embrace grounded her. "We've conquered worse," she'd say. Their love, deep and resilient, was the story's heart: romantic, emotional, human. As spring bloomed, Brielle stood on their rooftop, city lights twinkling. "From ashes to this," she marveled. Camila joined her. "And it's just the beginning." The climax of Brielle's journey unfolded unexpectedly in mid-2026, when a health scare struck Camila. A routine checkup revealed a lump, benign, thank God, but the fear was paralyzing. What if? Brielle whispered in the waiting room. holding Sophia tight. Tommy flew in for support. She's tough like you. The ordeal tested their family unit. Nights of worry turned to gratitude when results came clear. Never taking a day for granted, Camila vowed, emerging stronger. This brush with mortality prompted reflection. Brielle organized a family reunion, not just blood but chosen kin. In a rented Hamptons house, Camila's relatives mingled with Brielle's friends, Tommy, and even Robert. Sarah declined but sent a card. Working on myself. Awkward at first, conversations flowed. Robert sharing old photos, apologizing again. Sophia charmed everyone, bridging gaps. This is family, Brielle thought, heartful. Professionally, Brielle's influence grew. She testified before Congress on LGBTQ+ rights, drawing from her story. No child should be disgraced for love. Applause echoed. Laws shifted subtly. Her nonprofit partnered with national orgs impacting thousands. Romantically, Brielle and Camila's bond evolved. They renewed passions. Dance classes, spontaneous trips. You're my forever adventure, Brielle said during a sunset cruise. Sophia thrived, her drawings echoing Camila's talent. But life's humanity shone in imperfections. Robert slipped once, making a homophobic joke. Brielle called him out. Not here, not ever. He backtracked, learning. Tommy celebrated 2 years sober, crediting Brielle's example. As autumn approached, Brielle faced a final betrayal echo. A former colleague leaked old family drama for a tell-all book. Exploited again? Headlines screamed. Brielle sued, winning swiftly. No more victim, she declared. The resolution came in quiet triumph. On Thanksgiving, their table overflowed, Camila's arroz con gandals, Robert's awkward apple pie. Toasts rang to forgiveness, growth. Brielle raised her glass. To the family we build, not inherit. Years of drama culminated in peace. Brielle's memoir sequel chronicled redemption. Love's ledger balanced. Readers connected, her message clear. Betrayal forges strength, love heals. In the end, it was humanistic, flawed people finding grace. Brielle, once a disgraced teen, stood tall. Successful, loved, whole. With Camila's hand in hers, Sophia's laughter echoing, she whispered, "We made it." The story closed on a hopeful note. America's spirit alive in reinvention. From Chicago's rejection to New York's embrace, Brielle's path proved. Even in betrayal's shadow, love lights the way.